shift on Wednesdays at the library. She shelved the returns herself. She liked to know where everything should be. She had a book she kept renewing, never got around to reading it. A green cloth cover, slightly worn. She said someday she'd finish it.
How did you know her?
We lived 2 blocks apart. She passed my corner every day. I noticed her the way you notice something that is always in the right place. She called her mother every Sunday, always 6 o'clock exactly. I thought that was the most reliable thing I had ever seen in anybody. Some people are built to hold a great deal. You can tell by the way they stand in line, the way they never check their phone, the way they trust the world to be unkind and still get up on time. I wanted to understand what she could carry. I wanted to know exactly where the limit was. Not out of cruelty, I want to be precise here. More the way you'd press a bruise to understand the cause. She was the kind of person you study quietly. She was the kind of person who rewards the patient eye. I told myself I only wanted to know what held her. I think that was the truth. I think that was the truth at the time. The green cloth book sat on her bag, the corner of it showing. She carried it for weeks before I saw her carry something else. I thought about what that meant, a thing you mean to finish, a thing you keep returning to but cannot quite begin yourself.
Did she know you were watching?
I don't think watching is the accurate word for what I was doing. I was paying attention, which is something most people don't bother. She deserved someone who paid attention. She was very easy to pay attention to. Some people are built to hold a great deal. You can see it in the small decisions they make. The way they plan for Sundays, the way they lock the door and then check twice, the way they keep their promises. I wanted to understand what she could carry. I wanted to know exactly where the limit was. Not out of cruelty, I want to be precise here. More the way you press a bruise to understand the cause. She was the kind of person you study quietly. She was the kind of person who rewards the patient eye. I told myself I only wanted to know what held her. I think that was the truth. I think that was the truth at the time. I kept a record, not a diary, nothing like that. Just numbers, mostly time, small observations. How long the light in her window stayed on. How long before the Sunday call began.
What kind of record?
Patterns mostly. People are mostly patterns. And if you understand someone's pattern completely, you understand what disrupts it. That seemed like useful information. I am a careful person. I like to be prepared. She renewed that book 11 times. I counted not because I was keeping track. More the way you notice anything that keeps returning to the same place without ever quite arriving. Without ever quite arriving. I started with the small things, the ones she would not notice missing. The way a room gets colder 1 degree at a time instead of all at once. I made sure her Sundays were a little harder than her Mondays. I made sure the things she counted on were slightly less reliable.
How did you manage that?
Proximity helps. And people trust their own perception very poorly when they're tired. You don't remove the floor. You just make a person uncertain whether they remembered it correctly. I had a model. I had worked it out across 14 weeks of observation. I knew the weight of everything she carried. I knew which beam, if you removed it, brought the structure down. I thought she'd break on a Thursday, late in the month of March. I had the number written down, I checked it against the charts. I was 3 days wrong, she held until the Sunday. I've thought about that often. 3 days is not a small error in a model this precise. 3 days means I missed something. 3 days means I did not know her as completely as I thought. And that is the part that troubles me most. She stopped renewing the book that week. I noticed it immediately. Left it on the library desk, just walked away without it. I thought at first she had simply finished. Then I understood. She had stopped caring about the thing she meant to finish.
What happened on the Sunday?
She called her mother at 6 o'clock the way she always did. But the call was 20 minutes shorter than her average. She didn't call again the following week. I think her mother noticed. I think her mother did not know what she was noticing. There were indicators I had weighted incorrectly. The Sunday calls, I had assigned them as a comfort. What I had not accounted for is that comfort can become a measure of how far you've come from who you were before. I thought she'd break on a Thursday, late in the month of March. I had the number written down, I checked it against the charts. I was 3 days wrong, she held until the Sunday. I thought about that often. 3 days is not a small error in a model this precise. 3 days means I missed something. 3 days means I did not know her as completely as I thought. And that is the part that troubles me most. She was very resilient. I want that stated clearly. Most people I have observed, they run closer to my estimates. She had reserves I had not mapped. That is actually a kind of compliment. I hope she would understand it that way.
You said observed before you said knew.
I suppose I use the words interchangeably. To know someone carefully is to observe them carefully. I don't think there's a meaningful distinction there. Do you? The green cloth book sat on the returns cart for a while. No one checked it out. I thought about checking it out myself, but that seemed like it would compromise something, some principle. I haven't fully articulated yet, but I knew it was important.
I've been thinking about the 3 days since we last spoke about it. I believe I've isolated where the model was too thin. I had accounted for her habits, for her schedule, for her structure. I had not accounted for the version of herself she held within.
The version of herself.
There's a self that people show to their routines. The 6 o'clock call, the window seat, the book they mean to read. And then there's a self that only comes forward when the first one is collapsing. I had only modeled the first one. That was my error. I think of it the way a cartographer thinks of a coastline they have drawn from too great a distance. The shape is correct, but up close there are more edges than the map admits. I am not a different man than I was before the error. I want to be clear about that. I'm not sure why that matters, but it does. I feel the same sitting here as I felt then. The same interest, the same patience, the same willingness to wait. She didn't change me, nothing changed me. I'm not sure anything could. I find that more clarifying than troubling, actually. That's what I've been wanting to say. I've started keeping notes in a different format since the spring. More attention to the second self, the one beneath the pattern. I find it takes approximately 4 months longer to locate it, but the model is more accurate once you do. It's simply a matter of patience.
4 months? Since when exactly?
Since around the time we started these sessions, I suppose. I found this process very clarifying, genuinely. Talking through the reasoning, having to articulate it. It helps me see where the gaps are. You've been useful that way. Some people would call what I do something else. I understand that. But language is just the map at distance. And I am working at a much finer scale than that. I am not a different man than I was before the error. I want to be clear about that. I'm not sure why that matters, but it does. I feel the same sitting here as I felt then. The same interest, the same patience, the same willingness to wait. She didn't change me, nothing changed me. I'm not sure anything could. I find that more clarifying than troubling, actually. That's what I've been wanting to say. She was a genuinely interesting subject. I don't use that word to reduce her.
I use it to honor her, in a way.
She demanded more precision than I had brought.
She made me better at this.
I feel some gratitude toward her for that.
Better at this? Can you define this?
Understanding people. Finding the weight they're carrying and the weight they cannot. Knowing when to add to one or subtract from the other.
I think of it as a kind of care, actually.
An attention that most people never receive from anyone.
She was known very completely by the end.
More completely than most people are ever known. The book is gone from the library now. I checked last month. The system shows it was discarded. That happens to books no one reads. They take up space someone else needs. I thought about that for a while. There's something in it I haven't quite